How do I find her? Damon asked his wolf as soon as he stepped out of Alpha Edward's study. Follow your nose. Damon tried sniffing around. He went to the main floor, second floor, and nothing. He wondered if the girl even existed or if he imagined her. As an alpha, Damon's senses surpassed those of a regular werewolf, yet he couldn't pick up her scent. This confused him. Without any clues, he decided to wait for Marcy, who said she would investigate which Omega handled the towel duty. Damon plopped on the bed and took this opportunity to rethink the situation. His wolf told him the girl was his mate, but she escaped. Shouldn't mates feel attracted to each other? Stupid, Damon's wolf growled. What did you think she should do when you had Miss Barbie between your legs? Did you expect her to jump into your arms happily? Damn it, I forgot about it. He really did. The moment his eyes landed on Talia, Marcy became unimportant. What if she hates me? Do I want her to like me? Damon mused. What do you mean? His wolf responded with obvious disapproval. I know you don't like women latching onto you, but this one differs. How different? For starters, she's not latching onto you. The moon goddess paired you up with her for a reason. Don't do anything stupid until you find out what that reason is. You can't deny yourself this. Damon was quiet. So far, he saw every woman as a nuisance. Not because he thought he would fall for a woman, but because they seemed needy, whiny, and they easily assumed they were the boss of everything. And this was his mate. If he stayed close to her, he would fall for her, completely. She would manipulate him, and he would happily do cartwheels every time she felt like watching a circus. Wasn't that dangerous? Damon decided to leave these thoughts for later, or maybe forever. The best thing to do was focus. He came here for a reason. Once he completed his task, he would leave and forget he ever saw that copper-colored hair and those big doe eyes. To keep himself busy, Damon grabbed his laptop and started working. As a busy alpha, something always required his attention. Later that afternoon, Marcy came to Damon's room again. He worked and acknowledged her presence with only a quick glance. Marcy understood that whatever he did seemed important, and she didn't want to interrupt. Marcy sat on the sofa chair opposite Damon and observed him in silence. This gave her ample time to take in his features, and the more she looked at him, the more attracted she felt. Damon looked very handsome, and his stern expression while focusing on work left her breathless. She literally felt the power radiating from him, and she excited herself with the thought that she would be his Luna. Marcy would be able to walk with her head held high, and no one would dare to look down on her because her possessive alpha would grind them into a meat paste. Marcy found her favorite pastime, staring at Damon. She could do that all day and not get bored. Occasionally, George's image would show up at the back of her mind, but Marcy suppressed it quickly. She was the princess. How could an Omega compare to an Alpha? Marcy wondered why Damon didn't ask about the girl who interrupted them earlier that day. She would tell him that she found out it was a lowly girl who hid in the attic and no one liked her. Omegas told Marcy that Talia acted sneaky and skimmed at work, and Marcy went to deal with her only to find that the door of the attic was locked. Marcy used her sweet voice, and after a short persuasion, Talia opened the door, and then Marcy showed Talia her place. Marcy felt confident that Damon would approve how she dealt with the scrawny girl who intruded on their time. But he didn't ask about it, so Marcy assumed that Damon already looked at her as his Luna, someone who would deal with issues within the pack and not disturb him. She liked that. The light knocks on the door sounded louder than normal in the otherwise silent room. Alpha Damon, dinner will be served in 10 minutes, a female voice came from outside. Marcy stood up and opened the door. Thank you for letting us know, Marcy said to the flustered Omega. Tell Mother that we will be there on time. The Omega nodded fervently, like a chicken pecking rice, and left with hurried steps. Damon smirked when he noticed Marcy's prideful posture. By answering the door, Marcy sent a message that she was in his room, and she spoke for both of them like they were a couple. This confirmed his suspicion that Marcy was not a simple girl. "Caden," Damon called his beta through their mind link. "We need to wrap this up quickly. We are leaving tomorrow morning." "I thought—" "Tomorrow morning," Damon interrupted Caden. Damon confirmed that both Alpha Edward and Marcy schemed something, and he didn't want to stay longer than necessary. If all went according to plan, by tomorrow morning he would tarnish Marcy's reputation and find out more about Alpha Edward's plans. After that, they would leave. The additional complication was the copper-haired girl. Her existence made Damon restless. That girl was an unexpected variable, and for the first time in a long time, Damon felt unsure how to deal with the situation. Dinner resembled lunch, with the addition of Alpha Edward, his son James, and Beta Raymond joining them. The sitting arrangement differed, with Alpha Edward at the head of the table, Damon on his right, and Marcy sitting next to Damon. "What happened?" Maya asked Damon through their mind link. "Why do you think that something happened?" Damon responded with the question. "Because Marcy is talking to you and you are not acknowledging her presence," Maya responded. Damon realized she was right. Marcy talked about something, yet he spaced out. He wasn't even sure what he ate. Damon forced himself to focus. It wasn't like him to be absent-minded. "What did you find on Marcy?" Damon asked both Maya and Caden. Caden responded, "Nothing we could use. She came back a few days ago from Europe, and since then she's been the perfect daughter of an alpha." Damon frowned. "What does that mean?" "Marcy obeys her parents and does what she's supposed to do. She's not even bullying the servants," Maya said. "Alpha's daughters are usually haughty, but maybe life with humans changed Marcy's personality and she's kind." Damon glanced at Marcy and smiled while talking to Maya and Caden. "Keep digging. Contact our people in Europe and see what they can find out. Marcy is a White Lotus, and I don't believe that she has any skeletons in her closet." "Aye, aye, boss," Caden responded jokingly. When he saw Damon frowning at him, Caden cleared his throat and said seriously, "I'm on it. Don't worry. Our people are already working on it, from the moment Elder Parker sent his first request. I will tell them to prepare reports, and by morning we will know exactly what this miss was doing in Europe in the last 10 years. Their plan was to find dirt on Marcy and discredit her as Damon's Luna. In this way, they would slap Alpha Edward and Elder Parker as well. This strategy yielded the best results so far. Sure, Damon could just reject Marcy and skip these silly games, but that would label him as a rebel. And other than, "because I felt like it," he wouldn't have any other explanation for his outrageous behavior, while Alpha Edward could accuse him of being unreasonable and bullying Marcy. Alpha Damon was a powerful alpha, and the members of his pack respected him. But many lurked in the shadows and waited for Damon to cross the line, to make a mistake, to provoke someone he shouldn't. And Damon knew this. Normally, Damon would feel more enthusiastic about this play. After all, Marcy was a fine-looking she-wolf, and pretending for a day or two to indulge Alpha Edward would pay off several folds once Damon bared his teeth. But today, Damon felt restless, and he couldn't wait to get out of the situation where he didn't have full control.
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.